So today I'm going to talk about a seamless legato, or the illusion of legato. Not so much a seamless legato, but how to create the illusion of a seamless legato. And the piece I've chosen is, I've just started learning the last week or so, is called Epilogo, or Epilogo. I'm not sure where the accent goes, but it's from the Scenes Romantic, the romantic scenes of Granados. And what he does in this particular one, number 6, is he emulates Schumann, I think, very much. Now, the left hand has a lot of broad-spaced arpeggios, and you have to devise a fingering that allows the semblance of a legato, at least where you don't get too many hiccups or breaks from this desirable seamless legato that you want, because it is forming broken chords, but very like Chopin or Schumann, going across the octaves, above the octaves, with shifts. And so I'm going to show you how I've worked out the fingering, because there was no fingering on this particular edition, and some alternate fingerings too. You don't want to hurt your hands. So what you do, and that's something we teach when we want to do the illusion of legato, where we have big jumps, and we have shifts over our thumb, is to use a good fingering and also rotations. Now what we have outlined is an E flat major. What we have outlined in the very first measure is a very spaced out E flat triad. Normally an E flat triad in a close space would be root, 3rd, 5th, root. Now he doesn't do that. He spaces it out like this: root, 5th, 3rd, 5th, root, 3rd. I'll do that again to make sure I'm right. So root, 5th, 3rd, 5th, root, 3rd. Okay, so now he also has tie-overs between measures, which creates a bit of a syncopation. It just holds over notes across the measure, so they're all spun out 8th notes. Okay, so you're going to see the rotation I use, which is this: rest, lateral rotation, tie. You can see the slant of my arm here. So we have tie, and then we have a rest, and we have a dominant 7 with a clashing root, which would be of the tonic against the dominant 7. Do that again. Rest. 5, 2, 1, 3, 2, tie. Rest. This is the 4 chord A flat major. It's a 4 chord of E flat. Now that's not much of a stretch. And then here, since my 2 is waiting, this is where I do the illusion of legato. So I have 2, 3, and I shift and drag under like that. And then dominant 7. So that's easier. That can be seamless going up. But coming down, here's where we have to do the illusion of a 5, and then just lateral. And when I go fast, you'll see that I make that maneuver quickly, so it's pretty seamless as much as it can be. Again. Naturally, there was a break there, but I try to minimize it. And then rest. And here again, long finger over, readjust your hand and go lateral rotation. Here's where we have an augmented chord. Long finger, readjust, and lateral. And here's another kind of big 6th, 5th. So that's the rotation. That's where you do your rotation, like this. And then he has a same notes, finger substitution. So it would be, you can see my wrist goes forward a bit so I don't get that flat sound. I get a little contour to it, and now we have a secondary dominant, an F major chord. We think it's going to be secondary dominant, but now here what I do is I just go sideways. So I'd have this. You can say it's a little bit of faking, but that's pianistically what you have to do. And now, instead of going to B flat major, which would be the tonic of the dominant F major, he just uses the root, which would be, in this case, the second inversion of E flat major, which shares the same bottom note as a dominant, the B flat. And here I do, you can do a 4 over, and again, that lateral rotation is what it's about. So above that, you'll have this. This is one possibility, and then there's another possibility in the left hand. The other possibility is if you can possibly have an elastic hand in here, have 5-3. It's a little bit of a stretch, but then you readjust as you go up. And then you go 2-1, 2-3, 5. Again, you're rolling this way. So that your hand relaxes with the rotation. That doesn't come out on this piano. There it is. Okay, so that's part one. This is just the left hand. So it's good to practice the left hand. Now it goes to the dominant of that E flat, which is a B flat major chord. And here's what I do. I do the 5-2-1, 2-1. And it's, again, lateral rotation. You can see how I do that. My hand is going like this, sideways, sideways. Same with here. Now this is an illusion of legato. So I'm coming over, so there's going to be a little gap there. But if I rotate, the reason I like these fingerings is because I end up with a thumb so that I can open up my hand to the next broken chord easily. And this is an easier one because it's a 5th and a 4th, and here there's a same note finger switch. So it'll be this. So you can see a little bit of a paintbrush stroke here with the wrist forward. So that avoids a pokey sound between the two B flats. So this will be done quite sensitively physically. And then here I'm going to go back to 5-2-1, 2-1. It's easy enough. So that's totally seamless. Totally seamless. This one as well. This piano is not responding well on these bass notes tonight. And then we go to A flat, 5-2-1. Here we go over with 4 and readjust this way. You can see how I'm working on this. It's the only way you can do it. Relaxes your hand that way, and you open up to a dominant of G minor. That's fairly easy. This is easy as well. You can make a pure legato there. Now here comes the C minor chord. Same fingering, so we have a bit of a pattern fingering here. Now here I don't do the 5-2-1-2-1. You could do that. You could do the 5-2. It's a little bit of a strain on my hand. So what I do here is I do 5-1-3-2-1. Because if you keep doing the same fingering over and over and you are stretching, if you could at some point give relief to that fingering with something else after so much repetition of that fingering. I have this diminished chord here. And then you have a C chord, and I use 5-1-4-2-1. So I can pretty much make that sound seamless. F minor, that was a dominant. This is the tonic. And then this. And then rest. You'll have rests. Rests. And then this one. Now this is tricky because it's a big jump. I use a 5 here. So that would be the illusion of legato. Illusion of legato. I don't think a 4 would work as well. It's a bit of a stretch. Use a 5 there. 5-1-5-2-1. And resolve it. Go back to the beginning idea. And 2, 3, 1. That would be like a illusion of legato. This is a pure legato. Now going down, there's an illusion because of the 5, 1, 5. Rest. This is pretty much legato. This could be with a stretchy finger on the 3 over the thumb, and then 5, 1, 4, 2, 1. Here's the 1, 6, 4 of E flat, second inversion E flat. Dominant. Illusion of legato there. When it goes quicker, you won't hear these little breaks because I'll be able to skim through them. Rest. We have some repeated notes there. And then here you could do this. This is a bit of a stretch. But if you rotate, you can do it. 1. Come back the same way you went up. So here's an option. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now if that's too much for your hand, you could do this less than seamless. 1, 5, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and come back this way. If it's too much stress on your hand to do it this way. The next one is a 4 chord with a repetition on the A flat. 4 chord. He goes, here I have to just do that. Again, that's an illusion of legato. And then here, you can do this if you can stretch your fingers out. But here I would do the 5, and then I go 1, 3, and then 5, 3, 1. Now you're going all the way over to here. You don't want to do any twisting, so you don't want to do twisting. So you just do lateral. It's going to end like this with another chord after that. Right, so that's how I do it. I go very slowly, and there are some places where I see if there's an option that if I'm putting any strain on my hands. Then I do separately, I want to sculpt the right hand. So that's going to be the star. Lots of wrist motion, lots of wrist motion. Answer that. Less here. More. Less. Connect. You can do that, or you can do a finger switch there. You can either do 3 or 4, 3, 2, 2, or 4, 3, 2, 1. Because there's so many awkward left-hand shifts that could interrupt the seamlessness of the piece, you have to pay a lot of attention to the right hand's seamlessness, which it can be, as opposed to the left hand, and direct most of your attention to sculpting that and have the left hand weaving in curves through the right hand.